Okay, Carnation class, we're going to go on an adventure. Are you ready? Well, do you remember where we went last time on our adventure? We took this ship and we went to this place called Greece. And many things from Greece were things that we use now. This time we're going to go somewhere else. We're going to go to Denmark. We went to Denmark before. Do you remember where Denmark is? Well, here is all of Europe. Which way to Denmark? Here is Greece. Now, how do we go to Denmark? We can go up, we could go down, we could go left, we could go right. But, well, when we talk about a map, we don't use those words. We have to use different words. And when we go to Denmark, you're going to learn them. But for now, I'll tell you, Denmark is all the way up here. So, let's go to Denmark. Remember we went to Denmark before? We saw a king there. Well, we're going to go to Denmark before that king. A long, long, long time ago before that king. And people lived very differently then. So here is Denmark. And here are the people. How are they living? Well, we saw houses in Denmark before that were nice and pretty. They had lots of different colors. And we saw the king's castle, and it was made of stone. It was very big. But these houses, these buildings, are very small, and they're all made of wood. And look at how the people are dressed. They're dressed to look like it's very cold outside, but it's very green outside too. hmm Denmark is very far near the top of the earth, so it gets very cold there. And look at these people. Don't they look scary? They have shields and axes and swords. It looks like they want to fight someone. And actually, you know what? They do. The people of Denmark were called Vikings. And the Vikings didn't just live in Denmark, they lived in these places too. There's Norway, Sweden, and Finland. Do you see their flags? They all look very similar. Denmark's flag is a white cross on a red rectangle. Sweden's is a blue cross on a yellow cross with a blue rectangle. Finland's is a white rectangle with a blue cross. And Norway has a red rectangle with a blue cross and white lines around the cross. So their flags look very similar because, well, they were very similar people. They lived similar ways and they did similar things. And one of the things that they all did was they built these ships. This is called a longship. And, well, people were afraid when they saw Vikings with their shields and their helmets and their swords, but they were more afraid just from seeing their ships. Look at that ship. It's so scary. It's got a dragon's head and it's got all these oars. One of the things that made the dragon ships so scary was that they could go anywhere. They could go on the sea, the ocean, and even into rivers. Well, the Vikings, they would go on their ships and they would go to other places and take their things. Well, we call that raiding. And for them to do that, well, to go on their ship, they would need good maps, wouldn't they? Think about when your mom or dad need to go somewhere new. They use their phone, and on the phone there's a map, and the map tells them how to go there. But the Vikings didn't have those phones. And you know what? They didn't even really have maps. They had to make their own maps. So, what could they do? Well, at first, all they could do was follow the land around and around to where they could see. And that's how they made maps. And when they went to these places, well, it was all the same. The same as that what they had the same things that they had. So there was nothing for them to take. So the Vikings were thinking, we got to go somewhere else. So to use their ships, well, they needed to get better at knowing where things were. So they couldn't just say up and down, especially when you're on a ship, because, well, when you're in the middle of the ocean, everything just looks like water. You don't know which way is up and down on the map. So they had to use words like north, south, east, and west. This is a compass. And a compass always shows you which way north is. So the N means north, the S means south, the E means east, the W means west. So even if I turn the compass, this red arrow will always point to the north. So the people in Denmark knew if they went north, they would go to Sweden. More Vikings. And they went from Sweden to Finland, east, more Vikings. Same things. So they'd go from Sweden west to Norway, more of the same things. Well, what if the people in Denmark went south? Well, they could go to Germany, but remember how the Vikings were living? The German people had less things than the Vikings did. So what could they do? Well, no one from Denmark or Sweden or Norway had ever been west. So they decided to try going west. And where did they go? They went to the United Kingdom or England. And in England, they found many, many things for them to take. They had things like gold and silver and lots of nice things. So they would go and take those things from England. Now, the Vikings went to all the countries in Europe, but they were finding that there were too many people in Europe. They wanted to find new land. So they decided to go even further west. Which way was west? Was it up towards Sweden? Was it this way towards Finland? No, it was this way towards England and past England. And do you know where they went? They went to this place called Iceland. And when they got to Iceland, they found no one. There was no one there. It was new land just for them. And that's how they found Iceland. All right, next time we're going to do some more exploring. So make sure you're ready for it. See you later.